willing to give to the community organizations. So if you're interested, reach out to Lawrence, and they'll be able to get you a computer from African Center. African Cinema Day. If you end of my report, Ifwan Mohammed reached out to me and said they wouldn't be able to make it. They're stuck at work.
We wanted to kick off this process expediently. We have 4 categories or positions, and we would like to start with the rules will be is that the candidate will come and present themselves for 2 minutes, and then we will open the floor for Q&A for about 3 minutes, and then we will move to the next position and do the same thing. And then at the conclusion, all of us will be able to vote, and then we will tally the votes, and we will announce the winners. You ready?
All right. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
We now understand divided we fall.
Yes.
We have to prove ourselves
True.
for what's in here.
Yes.
And that's why we need a change. So speaking to you, my name is James Lohan, founder and president of Vision for Children in Liberia. And I might amend my constitution to be Vision for Africa. We're not here to play a game. We're here to move because we want to serve our people. So educational background, it's a small country in West Africa. That's where I came from a very poor family. And I came to the U.S. September 2001. I got my high school education back home. Educational background overseas. I went to the College of New Rochelle. I got degree in communication. Searching for university, I found Colorado University to go to get my Master of Science in Business with many certificates in computers. Everywhere I go, everywhere I run, we bring change. But before I even proceed, I want to first give thanks to the Vice Chair for her endeavor. I mean, she did extremely well. From what I saw, she did good. And I also want to give thanks to the liaison that stood up and spoke for himself the way he's supposed to. Now it's my turn. Being a Vice Chair, I want to bring change. As you know, I serve in children back home in Liberia, and I work with children in New York City, serving them for 12 years. So it takes experience to do the job.
Right.
It's not power. So people, I'm here. I'm your African, and I'm also a human like myself, like yourself. So I'm standing here to tell you that I want to bring some change on the board based on my experience working with children, talking with children on a daily basis. I can tell you there will be a change in this community when I take over as a Vice Chair, because it's not only saying something like I sat in the back and heard about communication. That's one thing we need to do. We need to bring communication, and members of the council need that feedback.
Yes.
When you send your email, there must be a feedback. And that's what I'm here. I'm here to make sure that the communication goes through. And with the discussion of the chair, and with a sagacity understanding, I want to make sure all members of the council is served, like somebody said, check and balance.
Yes.
Check and balance. It is not, oh, you're a big person, I'm a small person. No, everybody here is even and equal, one way or the other, and unique in their own unique way. So therefore, coming here, I'm coming here with change. Whoever going to be the chair, I want to work with them to bring change. And some of the change as follows. When you serve in a community, you have to be committed to your people. In other words, it's not just coming here to grind Congos or have meetings. No. It's going out there in the community. Yes. There are some people that are left alone within the community, and they need to be touched. How about a committee form and go to that house of that suffering person and say, hello, how are you doing? That alone is the medication. They feel alone. They're by themselves. And they need to be heard. So it doesn't matter whether you went to school or not, your voice it must be heard. Yeah. I have been here for a few meetings and I observe, and trust me, I am here to reach my community. Even though I'm serving home, removing children from the street. If you go on my website, visionforchildrenliberia.org, you will get more details. But serving my community in New York is more imperative to me because this is where I live. And he came out from Raglan Island. What next? So should he suffer because he got a record on his record, so when he go everywhere, it's in the computer system? No. We got to stop that. We should be able to give that brother a chance to be able to progress from what he have gone through for the last 10 years or 15 years in jail. When he come out, there should be a system put in place for that brother to make progression. In other words, there should be a program formed for our brothers to come and serve. If it is community service, yes, something, but not record being on their record. And what? It brings more chaos. Because that brother cannot get a job because he have a record, so therefore what? He will go back to jail because he rather choose to go back to jail than to be here or here suffering. And these are some of the key things that we need to see. So as a founder and CEO of Vision for Children in Liberia, 1 year in existence, I'm doing something. Not only in Liberia, I also want to go around the continent. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In our community, people who say the truth, people who know how to talk, most people think they are crazy. And when they talk sense talk, people will sit down on the side, laugh, smile, as if you are a crazy guy. But my brother, you impressed me.
Thank you.
You are a great communicator.
And for the record, you were at about 6 minutes. So. So open for questions.
Yes.
You, then her, then her.
Thank you for your speech. And I can see you just joined this organization, but I can see you see the vision of the organization. Trust me, we have been so many African organizations has failed because people want to impose themselves. When we fight for this kind of organization, when we create some kind of this organization, our first and foremost thing was what? The board president wrote a letter to myself, but you could ask everybody. When people ask me to be the chair, I say I will never be the chair because I want this to be different to different African organizations. People can come in, serve it, and go, and the ego can stay on the way. And I think you show that. And by not even know you for a long time, you very much impressed me, and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, Mr. Matthew.
The African community we are faced with a lot of issues. And I would like you to elaborate on issues, current issues that is affecting the African community. And also, how long have you been in this council? And what have you done in this in our African community that has really impacted the lives of the people?
Oh, thank you. Very good question. But I will kind of like just elaborate to reiterate what I said for the first, that some of the stuff that I had done in this community. Speaking to you, I played some major role in the Liberian community in New York City. It's called Liberia Association of New York. That resides in my hand. I'm a servant. I love to serve. And I don't want you to take my word. From here, please go and put my name in YouTube. It's medically my first name, and my last name is Nohan. Every documentary you see over there, I did it. You know why? It's not because it's Liberians. I did it because we as Africans, there is a call. We are playing game too much with each other, and that is not fair. So therefore, we have to bring something on the table. If you can cook, cook right. If you are cooking, and I give you an example. Like where I work, I used to 17 middle school. I left a mark there, and I'm still there. Okay, a child walked and came to me one morning, and this child said, I'm hungry. Now, we have to understand something here. At home, sometimes, it is not easy. So the children leave from home, they come to us, they see us as a parent. So what I did was, I took that child and make sure that child got what she needed. And that child wrote with the handwriting and told me thank you. Those are some things that we are looking for. So we are looking to reach out to people who desperately in need to be able to help them as council. Thank you. Next question.
Okay, I'm gonna be very brief. First thing, this council, can you walk as you speak?
Once more again.
I don't
It's not finished. Go ahead. Very good question.
Can you walk as you speak? That's one. Is any member of Liberian community here to justify what you have done for Liberia?
Yes.
The third one, this council is not just for Liberia, it's for all Africans.
Yeah.
Can you do what you do for all Africans, what you do in Liberia?
Thank you. Your first question. Can you walk the walk when you speak? I like that question. You make me be a wise man, because I'm sensing out from you. You see, sometimes when you talk, in our country, we say, my witness is behind the river. Well, I think I got witness here. She's not an African. She's a born, raised American. But she has been involved within the African community so well. And her name is Lakeisha McGee. And she will tell you that. And not only that, but I'm not here to come and sugarcoat things. The man is by their word. That's why I gave him my name. My first name is Benjamin. My last name is Nohan. Go put it in YouTube. And you see for yourself. Simple as that. And your next question, yes indeed, I love change. When I go somewhere, I want to change. I'm a man saying I came in this country. I was in Liberia changing money. I was foreign exchange and taking pictures to go to school. I want to give you some background history. All right? And I left from there on a handsome dream to come to America. And yes indeed, my dream came true. A poor man who came from nowhere. When I came in New York City, I did not waste no time because I didn't came to play. I came from a very poor family, so I came from progression. So therefore, yes, indeed, my first priority was to go to school. So I went to school, got my communication degree, and got my master's in business administration. And now I'm doing cybersecurity at Mercer College. But education doesn't matter to me. What matters is what within that you want to bring out that people don't see in you. That's what matters. And that's why I'm here.
So we had a question.
I'm also very new to the organization, and I see it as very structured, and I really applaud the members of the organization. And I see them doing a great job, and that really drew more interest from me. And you're talking about change.
Yes.
Okay, is there anything specific that you see not working that you want to change? Because if something is working, I don't see why you want to change it. Maybe you want to add to it or something, but why you want to change?
Thank you very much. A very good question. And only one thing I observed, like I said, my previous statement, maybe you never heard me very clear, but I will read it to you myself. I said, from the time, or for the few time I came to this meeting, only one thing I observed. And when I started, I even commented the GA and other officials for what they are doing here. Somebody recorded it very well. But one thing I'm seeing that I'm reaching out to the people is communication. I see there to be barriers. And a man with their communication, that kind of touch me. So yeah, therefore, that's the only one change that I want to bring. And then other thing is consultation, like when I talk about members, or bring out the members in the community, actually working with a committee. To them, you don't have to know them. We are all African. I don't have to know you as Asad to or John to come to you. But just the idea that going a house or identifying and going to visit and say, hello, how you doing? Those for the change. I'm not saying I want to hear, but there is something that I personally feel that our people need to be rich at time. Not just being up there and say, oh, we in council. No. Community coming to people in the community who want to speak, and because they have no other way out to go for their voice to be heard. But if you reach them, they feel very important and they feel like African like yourself. That's what I'm talking about.
Last question.
Okay, yeah, so the time is always a problem. But this is, I just heard you, as my sister said here, about change. And what I learned is that if it's not broken, don't change it. So we have to fix something which everybody has seen is working. And It's just, I don't know. Now, my question is this. You want to change what? Do you have a job description for the person you are applying for? And if yes, which one do you like to change out of the job description?
Oh, okay. So the job description serving as a chair is to work side by side with the chair of the board, you know, to have a deeper consultation where we can at least have some well thoughts. Because my father told me 1 tree cannot make a forest. It takes more than 10 trees to make a forest. So therefore, I can't do that change if I want to bring change by myself. But however, I can bring what I have into my intuition on the table with the chair and other officials for discussion before meeting the members. So therefore, at that time, I have the opportunity to discuss with them my ideas. And if they buy it, it's like you want to do a fundraising. You got to put your pieces together to make sure it's well said before you receive funding. It's the same thing. So therefore, when I start bringing change, I'm not having to change anything in the system, no. With the exception of just one thing that I observed saying on people that said communication is not reaching. And in every institution, communication must be effective. Don't come in wrong. I mean, somebody I hear what
Or else this meeting won't finish.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So,
I respect my
Thank you.
Next candidate.
Mr. Mori Kuyate.
Thank you, everybody. You know, I've been waiting here, you know, for this. And good evening, everybody. You know, I'm so honored to be here, you know, before you guys. You know, and it's an honor to be a member of the African Advisory Council. You can see the, you know, the leadership in display, and there's a lot to change. It is self-evident. Everybody witnessed the energy right now. How everybody was fighting. I believe that I can make that change. I believe that I'm a uniting force because I work with everybody. So the changes are, you know, is imminent. That's why I decided to run for vice chair. I'm gonna do 6 things, you know, during this really short presentation. I'm gonna talk about a little short autobiography. I'm gonna talk about the reasons why I ran for vice chair. I'm going to talk about why me, why should you vote for me today. And I'm going to talk about my leadership positions, different leadership positions that I've held in the past few years that I've been in the community, and some of the validations and what you can do today, which will be to vote for me, Mo Biate, as your vice chair. 1. My name is Mo Biate, I'm from Guinea. I came here when I was like 17 years old. I went to high school here, you know, and I went to college here, and I studied political science. I have a degree in political science, and I have a history minor. And I came on board through Famoud. Famoud, actually, the economic chairman, actually invited me. He saw me in the community because he saw me working. At that time, I was working with Fatima. We were organizing a specific concert that I'm not going to say. So he invited me to be on board because he probably saw the leadership, you know, potential in me. That's why he invited me. I started from the bottom. I came on board. I attended a few meetings. I wasn't on any committees. And then finally, I joined a committee under Grace, who was a great leader, who was also who was the the chairman of the arts and culture at that time. And then Richard, also a great leader, took over. I still worked under Richard, all right? And then later on, during the next election, Richard actually appointed me to be the liaison because he saw how active I was in the community. That's why Richard appointed. I believe that I fulfilled. You know, it was a big shoes to fill because I came right after Mr. Nabi, which is a great leader, a founding member of the of the board, somebody that I look up to. So I was working to fill his shoes, but I wasn't even. I hope that I made him proud because I showed him some videos that people will see that I've been through different medias promoting the board and representing the board when the chairman cannot make it. So I was there in the community working hard, making sure the AAC is on the board. Everybody can know Everybody on this board know. Nobody can say, oh, Maury didn't do his job. So that's a little bit about me. And then today, Mr. Nabi, the founding member again, appointed me to be vice chair because we need unity on this board. This particular board is so important. We're facing education, immigration problems, and violence in the community. We need serious people ready to step in when the chairman cannot step in. When he gets sick, who's going to be able to do the work? You don't need a secretary. We already have a secretary. The secretary, no, not to belittle the position, but the secretary can do the invoice and everything that the current vice chair is doing. But you need leaders that are ready to step in when the chairman cannot step in. I believe that I'm ready. Thank you. And I'm not ready yet. So, some of the leadership positions that I've held was a Secretary General of the African Advisory Council. I coordinated all the meetings every time there's a meeting. I know everybody in this community. I have everybody's number. Most people know number. As soon as there's a meeting, I even send an email blast to all the leaders. I mean, in the community, everybody knows me. There's a trust. I haven't just came in. Everybody knows me. So,
You have 2 minutes.
one leadership point.
2 minutes.
I had 9 minutes, right?
Yeah, you have 2 minutes. That's your
Okay.
2-minute warning.
So another leadership position. I'm the founder of the Attendee, which is a non-profit organization that that provides school supplies to kids in Guinea. That's on the side. Another leadership position. I'm the executive producer of Tam Tam, the Sound of Africa, on African Caribbean television. I have at least 20 to 25 people working on that particular television show. That's leadership quality right there. In order to have a leadership, you have to be able to bring people together and make sure that they love working together, not hate each other, and not that particular atmosphere that we actually witnessed.
Thank you.
You don't need that. Second, as the community liaison, which was self-evident that I did my job. Nobody can say no. Some of the validations, yeah. Mr. Nabi, as the president of the African Advisory Council of the parade, he can witness. He saw my leadership quality. Mr. Ambrose, as the vice president of the African Diaspora Parade, he witnessed my leadership qualities. Mr. Jean Belliard, and another founding member of the AAC, Mr. Sheikh Drami, who I worked with to promote peace in Guinea. I'm actually the director of Peace December Guinea-Conakry. I was able to create a team back home in Guinea from here that promote peace. So those are some of the validations I say. People clap for the what you can do. This board is really important. That's why I run for vice chair. Just by simply voting for me, we just unify the whole board. Thank you.
Thank you. So, we want to take on for questions, 5 minutes of questions.
5.
Yeah, okay. Yes. She was first. Okay, go ahead.
Actually, what I want to say is that I'm not actually campaigning, but things that I witnessed. He said something about unity, and that is what he's promising to bring. And I'm going to be here as a witness because unity is a problem in the AAC ever since I've joined. Communication line is broken. Ever since he has served as a liaison, he always reach out to me. Grace, we've not been seen. I said, you are not following the email. I said, I've not been getting any email. Forward it to me or something. I've been sending my emails up. I've been writing it down. I've been sending to that. I'm not getting it. So he was doing great outreach to make sure the members are coming. Asking of those that are not even here anymore, like, why it's around, where is this, tell them to come. And also, a lot of events that happen here in the Bronx, which I strongly believe that this council represents Africans here in the Bronx to be a voice to the Bronx Borough President, to report issues and the things that we are facing right here in the Bronx, so that BRONX Borough President can be familiar with African issues and the things that is happening to us. And that is all he has been doing. I am very much involved. I'm serving the Adventist Christian, but I'm very well known when you go to mosque or other churches. And anytime or whatever, when he has a chance, you call me Grace. What is happening? What is going on in the community? Anything I can attend as a community leader, he was reaching out because he knows that I was very much like everywhere. So he touched me to find out where he can go and represent. And I applaud him for that. And
so
then,
we count that as a statement of support and have a question.
I just asked one question to Pasina, which is, to me, organization is not about your personality. It's about follow rules and regulation. How much rules and regulation are you ready? Because when we look at now, for example, I have been criticized for right now, to me, when I saw that presentation, I can see the liaison job only in different committees. As a vice chair, are you willing to let the liaison do its all duty who have been put in the paper? Yes or no?
Segregation of duties, that's the question.
What is the question for?
The question is, are you, as a vice chair, are you willing to let all the job description which have been given to each and every member in this board?
Absolutely, yes. I'm willing to perform my duties as stated in the bylaw.
So as vice chair, you're willing to hold accountable the people if they're not doing their duties as well?
Wow.
That's the obvious.
I always step in as a leader, I always step in where necessary.
Next question.
My question is regarding his duty as a community liaison. Every time that we have events, as Nabi has been pointing out, the community liaison duty is not only to represent the AAC, but I believe also to create partnership and build partnership in a sense where when we have events, we also need sponsors. So I would like to know which of the events that we had that he actually brought in a sponsor or even one of the small, businesses, African small businesses, to actually either provide food or give money.
Ladies and gentlemen, last year we wanted to do an event. I actually requested that we reach out to Health First, but I was advised that we shouldn't, all right? Because, some events are already reached out to them. So it's not like I haven't been there trying to reach out to sponsors. She knows, and the president, the chairman knows that I was advised not to chair. Excuse me?
Do you have the name?
Actually, because the Bronx Borough president reached out to specific sponsors. So that was advised that we shouldn't reach out to sponsors on our own. So that was not my job to do so. Thank you.
Next question. Back in the back.
Yeah.
My concern is about unity, because Africa is divided because of our languages, because of the colonial master English and French, and then our religion. Christianity and Islam. So there's a lot of division within the African community. That is a fact, because sometimes you see when Burkinabe is doing something, it's only Burkinabe. And if it's the French, it's only French inviting French. If you are an English person like me and you want to do even something good for the entire community, and you go to maybe the Francophone communities, they don't want to accept you. What will you do in your capacity? And I know you have done a lot. I've seen you in the Ghanaian mosque before. You have been to some churches. I go to places and people tell me, non-Africans, they ask me, do you know Dr. White, I don't know, you might not remember, he's an African American. He asked me personally whether I know you. So I didn't ask you, I'm taking the opportunity today to tell you, because whatever you grow on the ground will really, when you sow something to grow. So what will you do differently in our community to bring unity?
Then there'll be Q&A.
That's for what?
I really don't have, if I want to say about me,
we will not go to the next stage. You know, briefly, I would just say that this council was barely like about 6 months old when I came in. And one thing I can say is that since that day, since the very first time I came here, I have never missed a meeting.
Yes.
And that speaks a volume of commitment and consistency. And, if anybody have questions, you can go ahead and ask me. But I want to say that I came to this country in 1990. I started BRONX Community College in 1996. That first year, we put together African Student Association, and I was the president of that association. So since then, I've been in the African community. I'm a guy, I would say, that wear many hats. Everybody know about the Nigerian Independence Day Parade. It's probably one of the biggest African gatherings in the United States. I'm a part of it. I've been part of it for over 12 years now. And like I said, I think I don't want to keep going so that we save time. If any question, I'm ready to answer.
All right. So there's 3 minutes for questions. Yep.
All right. I know you said you never missed a meeting, and what have you, but for some of us, you know, we have not been around. So since we are around now, can you just kind of educate us some of the things that you have done in your past in terms of development? As a liaison?
In regard, no, I have not been a liaison. The chairman nominated me last week. I think he knows that I will do a better job there. I was a chair for arts and culture.
Yeah.
And the good thing is she was appointed as the chair. There was so much stuff for her, personal life. I was assisting her, and she had to go take care of some personal thing. I stepped up, and I took it from there. So since then, I've been chair.
That's good.
I got a question. Question?
Yeah.
Hands up.
Question?
Yeah. I think I have a question. At the same time, I just want to say to everyone, as a member founder of this council, I'm so proud to have this young man step up and try to be the liaison. You know, sometimes in ideology thing, you have a difference with someone, which is between me and him. Sometimes we have a different vision. But I could tell you, he's truly a man of what he said. And I think we'll
Is that a question?
It's okay. It's understood.
How much did you pay him? Because if you pay me, I'll say something to you.
Question.
Yeah, my question is, I know he has worked a lot with the Nigerian community, but I know he has also done a lot in the African community. So can you elaborate for those who are not aware of that, so they will know more about you in the African community?
Okay, if I want to, streamline it to AAC, I'm a face of AAC outside here. Even if I was not the liaison, but I have done so much work as a liaison. If I want to go back, start naming some of the, if it is political, Dr. Bola is here. I volunteered and I assisted him. I was there full time when he was running for a council for the district system. He's a great man. I volunteered. If it is a political gathering, I go there, and when I go there, I don't just go there and work in. I make sure I sign in as AAC, or I make sure let the organizer know that AAC, somebody from BRONX, President of African Vertical, is here. Just today, I saw mother. I left work
at 1 p.m. today, just to be at the FBI meeting with the African leadership. Last week, the Latija Tish came to the Bronx and met with some African leadership. I made sure I was also there, and I also put in that AAC was in the house. I can go on and on. Just for African community, as a matter of fact, the reason why all these things that I just happen to be one of those privileged people that I own property at early age. I have been harboring Africans that don't have a place to stay in my home. So that's the big. I have a list of people that have lived with me that they are doing their own now.
Thank you. Next.
We're not done yet.
Question. So,
Question or comments?
so comment.
Whatever
So,
somebody has to say.
as Mara, can I go?
Yeah.
I saw your hands before mine. So as someone that nominated Rich, I think it's incumbent upon me for me to say a couple of words on his behalf also on why I nominated him in the first place. When I first took office, and I can't believe this was over 2 years ago, and it's interesting how time passed. I reached out to Rich at that time. I knew Rich somewhat, and we've worked together. We were still building a council, and this is why, it's always, they did something, they put something, the foundation there. Now it's time for us to build on it. Right? I reached out to Rich. I said, Rich, listen, I know you're busy, but you're a leader that's seen in the community, and I need you to take up a leadership role on the council and not just come to meetings. And he said, one thing that just struck me, because oftentimes, people take on roles, and for two reasons. Sometimes people take on roles for power, and they say, oh, I'm taking on this role because I have this power, But sometimes people take on roles because they realize that there's a responsibility.
That balance that I talked to you about allow us to increase our visibility, presence in the community, strong partnership building. You have Accra Restaurant, Jacob Restaurant, a lot of African Women Association, Oscars Community College, Bronx Community College, BOROUGH College. So that's what I have been doing for the past 2 years beyond the scene without people knowing. We also increase our ability to being a resource for the community, to be an advocacy. People remember the press conference that we had on the Ebola. What people don't know is that every time that things happen, Charles and I, we talk first. We talk about the agenda before actually calling a conference call. And ultimately having, so those are the things that I'm proud of. The idea that I had to actually celebrate the African Women Day, the AAC never done it from the time that they actually, from its inception. That was a great event, you can see there, some of the women that we awarded are now members, okay? So it's a great thing. One of the members became a community liaison for Assemblyman Michael Blake, okay? So that's part of my accomplishment. Like you can see also with the people from Oscars Community College and another of it's a pride for me, is our newsletter. Actually, it was an idea of Charles and our previous chairs. And what I did, I built up on it and actually make it happen with Linda over there. So it's something that we built on, and then pretty much talking about, all accomplishments for the year. And we have even a digital page for it. All that work, ultimately the result is, well, like you see, we had last year with BRONX, the soccer tournament, we had to bring our daughters' women, we had all the women working around the soccer tournament. What people don't know, I was not there, I had a surgery that day, but the day before, I was actually emailing Chair all the itinerary at 4 o'clock in the morning because I had to be at the hospital for my surgery at 6 o'clock. So that's my commitment. You see me there having a meeting, you know, and that's a partnership with Ostos now. You know, we were working on the art and culture. That's, you know, me participating to meeting, leading meeting for future events. Me being with, you know, leaders from Health First. That's how we do, and that's what I have been doing for the past years. And the result, we increase our credibility. Was an honor to have the BP himself, you know, RUBEN DIAZ Jr. participating to one of our meetings there. And we have our chair, you know, in the news talking about Ebola. It's because of that balance that I brought. I do the job internal, focus on the internal job so he can focus on the external. So the other thing is, like I said here, with Senator Schumer at the parade, we present anywhere in the community when it's required from us, when they're asking us, when he cannot make it, I make it, and you know, Richard has been doing good, Maury, etc. But that's the result. My agenda, secure a newsletter sponsorship, so that way we can actually have a magazine. I think it's time to have that. Expand the civic engagement, and one of the planning that I have is with Martha here. Martha starting identifying most of the churches, mosques, and we're gonna visit them. Really the goal is to increase our presence. Sustain membership and participation. Increase business opportunities, awareness. We had an event that was done by the Economic Development, was a successful event, and we want to continue doing that. Engage African small businesses. Question?
Just one tiny question.
Okay.
As a leader, how do you feel that for far as establishing cohesion on the team with respect to rules and regulations?
All right, I'll tell you, when you're a leader in my position, and especially when you're a woman, you have to learn to work with everyone, meaning you have to learn more to listen, to be more open to every idea. But on the same token, you have to avoid controversy. So there is some of the things that you have to keep in order to promote that unity. You don't want people to fight between them. So that's very important when you want to have everybody working together. In terms of policy and regulation in the AAC, what I would think is being able to resolve conflict.
So I have a dilemma you can help resolve.
No,
Let me.
He's in charge, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm making him know that your hands is up also because I can see you.
Okay.
Yeah, but when you finish, you will see.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, dilemma that I need your help in resolving is that you took a fair amount of time in presenting, and are you open to the other candidates having an equal amount of time?
That's, okay. My answer to you is this. To whom much is given, much is required. If I allow people to give me a certain amount of time, I have to give them the same respect and the same time.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
That's my answer.
Any question?
Yeah, thank you very much for your presentation. I'm a leader myself. I've been in your shoes and I know how it works. And I'm an advocate for women empowerment. But my problem, it's not a problem, my question is this. How are you going to bring partnership among women with respect and dignity? And respecting women at the grassroots, bringing everybody together in unity, without disrespecting everybody's opinion. That's number one. And then, what have you done in your capacity as the chair for the past 2 years to bring women together? Because you are a woman, have you ever had the opportunity to bring all women together for the cause of women, for the development of women and children? Because women and children all go together.
All right, to your first question, it's the same, that's the same way I conceive things. It's about, for me, it's about humility. when you're a leader, you have to understand where each person coming from and not being condescending. It's also meaning understanding what is the issue of the women and people that you're dealing with. So what I have been doing, and I did this year for the Women's Day, and that was the reason why I did it, was to bring women together. I think Rose can, testify. I actually attended different meetings. The Senegalese Association meeting, the Women's Senegalese Association meeting, the Guinean Women's Association, different women. And I try to actually make them understand that we need to also be present as a woman, because we are mother, sister, and we actually the keepers. So in doing so, the first thing was creating some type of platforms. And that's the reason why I actually had the idea to have the Women's Day celebration. So it's the first step. So it's just starting something, and then I will continue building on this one.
Question? Yeah, when I see this whole presentation, a couple of questions come into my mind. But I think he asked the first question, was how to respect rules and regulations. You just show in this presentation, when you come in as a vice chair, you create a program for the vice chair. But I believe, as a member of create this council, we already have the role of the chair, vice, and chairperson up there. But when I look at the presentation, I could see a lot of the responsibility of the liaison was taken. A lot of responsibility of the economic committees has been taken and given to a vice chair. But I think in this organization, the first thing we did, I am the first person who call everybody, but I refuse to be the chair. Why? The reason I will give you today. Because I want us to have check and balance. The chairperson do his duty. The liaison do his duty. Each committee member do their duty. And that's exactly what we have been working on for 4 years. Now, if you want to change, the change do not come in just between you and the chairperson. No. This change is supposed to be bringing to the board, and the board is supposed to discussing if they want to take anything from someone to give to the vice chair. But I could see now.
Can I answer your question?
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Let me finish my question, because to me, when you look at all the members here, because as a member, this was the first time I see this. If it was put in the meeting, I was supposed to see this. But I didn't see this before. So why it have to be a personal manpower created because I want this post? You take a look to the position, you see the role of the position, you take the position, you work on the position. You don't change it.
Okay.
Why?
So, Mark, first of all, let me answer this one.
Let her answer.
All right. This is it's a very difficult question, and I will say this: when we took over, okay, despite the fact that you had, I would say, a really vague definition of the duties of the vice chair, the vice chair was not even doing his job. Nothing, please. Nothing was actually getting done. So the thing is that what happened is the